guys, this is Rafael and today I'm gonna show you how to install any script from Muserver.club. My first advice tip to you guys is to open the Muserver.club website on your VPS and log into your account. This website is currently available only in Portuguese, so you can just right click here anywhere and translate to English, and the website will be available in English. Open a script, you can see many information here: price, author, Discord, video, an explanation, resources, rewards available, and here you have your access, files to download, and a useful link. If this is your first time in script, you must do this guide first. You must install the ZSystem folder. After this, once you have done this, you can just download the script. I suggest you to watch the whole video so you will learn important stuff. So let's open this script. Here is our website. I'm gonna show you my Season 16 server. It's my script folder. I'm using this test server here. This is the default XTeam system. It's the system script core system. And the first thing I'm gonna do is click here on code on our GitHub repository and download zip. I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna copy the ZSystem folder. Here. I'm gonna open the ZSystem folder and run the queries. Change the database here. XTeam. Here is an error because I already have an object called report. If it's your first time, just do this one time. First time. There's no error because we already have this table right here. XTeam. You see the message here saying successful case report. Now I need to replace this script name for you can click here to access and copy, or on your zip folder you can copy from here. I'm gonna just copy from here and replace. Before I replace, I have this extra command from XTeam website. If I reload script here, you can see a red message, extra command, because I add here on my extra command a log just for testing, log color 1 for red, and here the text, so red on the GS console. I'm gonna copy the script main file from here, replace, and I can close this, just minimize here because we're gonna use this later. So I suggest you guys to use the Notepad++. If you don't have, you can just type on Google Notepad++. You can just click here, downloads. You can download and install. You don't need to restart your VPS, so if your server is running, you don't need to set up a maintenance. You just download and install. It's very useful for not just from Lua files and for regular server files. If you use Notepad, sometimes it's not good because when you open, you have like one structure here. If you open using this, as you can see, it's different, right? So just open using the Notepad++, or you lose all the formattation, the format you have here. So okay, if your first time using any script and you don't know why this is in green, because this is a comment section. Anytime you see this symbol like 2 times this minus key, you're starting a comment section. So you can't comment anything, and the server, the script, won't read this part. So if you have like this minus minus here, all this thing is disabled, and here this line is disabled. If I start a new line, server is gonna read this line. So don't worry about this green stuff here. You can delete or just leave. So this is the script main guide by Muserver.club. You must use the settings for any script. The ZSystem is required. The ZSystem is a plugin that replaces the XTeam system settings. It has all the original files and some corrections and many extra features, as you can see here. And if you're using scripts older than 2019, the ZSystem will make them work, because XTeam changed how the script works on 2020 and older scripts stopped working. The ZSystem correct this and make all scripts work. Okay, ZSystem will, here is an option, this here I'm gonna explain later, to auto require scripts. I'm gonna show you how this work later. And okay, this is just for you. Remember, this part here is very important. SQL connect and SQL async connection is how script connects to your database. Here we use ODBC to connect, same is used in your connect and data server. So this is not your database user and password. This is the ODBC that you create here. When you click on DB, this is the ODBC. As default, it is Muonline. So if you don't know what ODBC you are using, probably is Muonline. Is Muonline here and here. Don't add any user or password here, just if you have changed it, but as default it doesn't have any user or password. Here is our season number. I'm using season 16, so I'm gonna change here to 16, and here this is the require from the ZSystem. Okay, this is the auto require system. I'm gonna show you how this works. So here it's reading all folders on the data script folder, and if the folder has ZSystem or the name ignore, it will ignore. So let's show you as example. I'm gonna come back here, script. I want to change this script so it will be automatically required by the ZSystem. So I'm gonna create a new folder here, can be any name, extra comment, and then here it will this settings is searching for an app.lua file. If it founds, it will add an automatic require for this file. So I have this file here, extra command. I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna move the file here, and I'm going to rename for app.lua. Okay, if I reload script, it should be working, and we should be able to see a red message. Excellent, a red message. If I don't want this automatic require, I can just rename the folder using an ignore here, ignore. If I add an ignore here, the script will not be required anymore. See? If I rename here for any other name, the script will be required automatically. This is good for you organize your script folder. You can delete this system folder. We are not using this anymore. And let's go back to Muserver.club website. So I'm gonna download here any script. So as you can see, we have a .war from WinRAR and an app file, a Lua file. So let's download the WinRAR file first. I'm gonna close this. I will copy this folder and place here. I can close this, and now I'm going to download the Lua file. When I click here, it will download with the correct name. If I download any other script, it will download with the wrong name. As you can see, this name right here with this one. So just click here, show on folder, and delete this one. Anytime you download a script, you just click here, you press Ctrl X or right click and cut, Ctrl X or cut, and place on your script folder. Open the script folder and paste here, Ctrl V or paste. The original file disappear from your downloads and you're ready to go. If you download a script, inside the script folder you can see a configs folder. You can use these settings that I'm going to show you right now. If you just find a configs.lua file, it means this script is not updated to the last version. We are updating all our scripts, and you will not be able to use this hack that I'm going to show you right now. So if you have this config file, you just open and configure your script. Here you have all the configuration systems options inside this file. Okay, if you have this folder, you can do some tricks that I'm going to show you right now. So if you have like more than one game server using the same data folder, they will be all reading the script folder. For example, I have here the game server and the game server CS using the data folder, which means they are using the same script folder. So if I add any script here, both game servers will execute the script. Sometimes we don't want this, so what we need to do is rename this folder from the number of the game server. For example, if you go to game server, data and common, you can see here the server code. This is the server code that you must rename the folder. When you rename the folder, only the game server that uses this number will execute the script. So if you have like 3 game servers and you want just 2 to execute the script, you just copy and rename. So 0 and 19 you can rename to any number you want. Something really cool and important, this configs folder is global. But if you want to just change something in the game server 0 and the game server 19, you can set up everything here, and this will be running in all game servers. But in the game server number 0, the global settings will be replaced by this one. So you can delete everything and just change what you want to change on this game server, and the script will read this folder, and if the game server is this one, it's going to replace from this config settings. Okay, I'm gonna leave here the configs by default because I want this script to run in all my game servers. In this case, I have just one game server reading this data folder, so it will be running only one game server. I'm gonna open the configs file. Here I have the switch. If I leave true, the script will be executed. If I want to disable, I just rename to false. Okay, so in this case, this script is on the latest version. I'm gonna show you new tricks that you can use only in the latest version. Okay, so as an example here, you have like the name of the raffle system. So you have the name in English, or Spanish, the price, and the command, and schedule. I'm gonna show you how this works and how this is easy to set up. This is the year, month, day, and weekday. The hour, it uses the 24-hour system, so you can't use AM, PM. It's 0 to 23, and the minute here. If you want to add more times, you just copy the settings and duplicate. Okay. If you have never ever programmed using Lua, I'm gonna show a few tricks here. In Lua, you have like variables and tables. So here, this is a variable. I set like the rifa. This is a table. This is a variable inside the table, and it has a value. In this case, it's true. I can use any variable that I want. Example. And I'm gonna say the example is 10. So my example receives the number 10. If I want my example to become a table, it must look like this. Inside the table, all elements must have a comma in the end, excepting the last one. But the last one can have a comma. So memorize inside a table, all elements must have a comma, and outside a table they can't. If I add a comma here, my game server will crash. If I remove this comma here, my game server will crash. So here I have like A, it's 10, B, it's 20, and C, 25. The last option, it's not necessary to have a comma, but you can use, so always use a comma. If I delete one of these comma here, the script will stop working. So this is very important. Here outside the table, don't use comma. Here I have a table. This is a table inside a table. So my table, it's an element inside a table, comma, and here elements inside a table, comma. Okay, very important. In our GitHub repository, you have a guide for each script. When you download the file, you can just copy this folder to your script folder, and you have all the guides here. So this is the event schedule guide. Let's open here. I'm gonna open the guide. So this is the days. 1 is Sunday, 2 Monday, 3 Tuesday, and here 7 Saturday. So, and it's this first example, I want the event every day at 8:50 p.m. Very simple. If I want to have more than one day, if I want to use a specific weekday, a specific day, a specific month, a specific year, this is an example how you can set it up. Okay, if you forgot, you can just check on this file here. Okay, and now this is the reward settings. This is very important. All of our scripts have this reward settings. So once you have understood and memorized, you can use in all scripts. It's very simple. You can check here the rewards guide. Let's open the English file. So this is the whole options that you have. If you find a script with just one options, like for example WCoinP, it doesn't mean you can't use the other options. You just come here, copy and paste. Okay, one type for you is when you copy, sometimes you can lose the format. So you just select here, press tab, and then the notepad will automatically move from forward. In this one, I can press shift tab to go back. Okay, here in these default settings, the player is receiving nothing as reward. So let's read here what all options can do. If you leave random as 0, the player will receive all the rewards below. If it's more than 0, it will receive randomly one of the rewards below. If it's more than 1, if it's 3, the player will receive 3. Okay, here you can add any special bag number. You must use the special event bag on event bag manager. Okay, so you go to your data, event bag manager, here, event item bag manager, and this is the special here, special value. In the end, I have some custom event bags like patent, hidden treasure, and this is the number. Okay, so if you want to create an extra event bag, you just copy here. This number can be any number, okay, but it must be unique. It must be a unique number. So here I have like a special value, and it must be a unique number. Okay, you can change, you can add any name aqui, any name here. You go to your event bag, special, just copy, and it must have the same name here and here, and you must reload your game server here, event bag. If this number is wrong, your game server is gonna crash, so pay attention, must use the same folder and same number, okay? And remember this number here. If you add like 1, 2, 3, and 4, the script will reward to the player the event bags number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you add this here, it will random one of these event bags, and the player will receive just one of these event bags. Okay. This is the settings for drop an item in the ground. You can add unlimited items here. This is a table. This is an element inside the table. So you just copy here, okay, everything, and you can duplicate unlimited times. So the script will drop unlimited items on the floor. Okay. Here you have an explanation for all of the settings. This is the section ID, level, durability, skill, luck, option. Here it's the owner. 0 is no owner, and 1 it will drop with owner. Okay. Here is the item give. It's the same thing for the configuration here, but it's different because you don't have the owner in the end. Okay, if you want to add like more than one item, more than one item to the player, you can just duplicate here. Okay, very simple. If you want to give a random item, it's the same thing from the item. You just copy here and open here. Okay, just press enter and copy. Okay, so if I have like 2 or more, I have 3 options here, right? The script will random and choose one of these items to drop on the floor, and same thing from the random item give. It's the same thing from all the random options. It will choose one of the sections, one of the settings, and give to the player. Okay. Here is the settings for an effect. So the mode must be 1 on the effects.txt. It's here, data effects.txt. You open here, and it must be type number 1 or it won't work. Okay, and this is the values that you must copy to the script. Okay, value 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here is the value 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the time in seconds. Here you have like the index. It's here, is the first number, and this is the time in seconds, the duration, and the value of 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you can find here. Okay, you just copy. You can leave it 0 if it's a star here. Okay. If you want to add more than one effect, just copy, and you can add unlimited effects to the player. Same thing here, random effect. It will randomly choose one of these 2 options. Here is to summon a boss or a monster. You just copy the monster, the ID of the monster.txt. It can be, you can unlimited amount, like can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will summon the monster number 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. If you add the same settings here on random summon, it will randomly choose one of these monsters here. Okay, this is the default settings. You can just leave 0 for the W coins, goblin point, and this is for using query account and character account. So if you have like a random custom account, a custom table that you save, or a custom event, and you want to save or use custom data, you can use these settings. How does this work? So here is your query. So I'm doing an update here on my cash shop table, and I'm gonna replace the name of I'm gonna replace the account, so account ID I'm gonna replace to %s. The query structure is here, you must replace using the %s. And here is the second option here is the message that the player is going to receive. So if you don't want to send any messages, leave it like this, but don't delete this or it won't work. If you add a comma here, you can add unlimited options, so all of these queries is going to be executed. And if you want to randomize, you can just add here, just copy and paste here. Okay, this is the same thing, but it will use the player name, not the account. So always in one settings you have like the query and the message here. If you don't want to use, you can just delete here. Okay, here I have some examples. If you don't remember, if you want to have like some examples, if you want to study more advanced options, you can read this example section. Okay, before we finish, one last thing, but very important. This script has this command table here. Some scripts just have like a command number, and you add the command number here. Okay, in this case, when you see a table, command equals a table, you can use some extra configurations as a requirements. For example, here in this event, when a player wants to buy a ticket, the player has to pay. So how do I add a requirement or a price for the ticket? On your script folder, you can use ZSystem. Here you have this script in English, or it's in the guide. You go to npc command requirement guide. Let's open the English version. It's the same file. Okay, so I can add all of these requirements to my command or my NPC, just if the script is using these settings here, because this is the new version. In the future, all scripts will have these settings. Okay, so here is the command authority. If I add this here, don't forget to use a comma here. I'm setting that only these nicknames here will be able to use this command. So I can add all of these settings here. I just copy. This is the command dot. I don't copy this. I copy here. Okay, you just ignore this section here and just copy after the dot. Okay, so this is the authority list. Here's an explanation. The name of the characters will be, only these characters will be able to use the command. This is block maps, or if player is in this map, it will not be allowed to use the command. Block days, block hours, block account level, block class, quest, gens, pk, pk. Okay, here all the settings here are using the VIP level as settings. So you have the configuration system, like the configuration here, and the first option is for free accounts, VIP 1, VIP 2, and VIP 3. Okay, the countdown is for adding a delay. The date times is the day they can use. So I'm gonna show you like a reset. Allow reset, safe zone, not safe zone. Okay, here it's more interest in this case. For this example, you can use any of these options. Okay, but I'm gonna show like money, Zen, as an example. So I want players to pay Zen money as a requirement for buying a ticket. So I'm saying it will cost then 200 money, and also goblin point. Let me copy here goblin point. Okay, goblin point, copy here, and goblin point. Once again, don't forget the comma here, and this is for free accounts, VIP 1, 2 and 3. Okay, here I have the items requirement. One thing very important here is the first option is the amount. Okay, so I am requiring 1. The second is the item index, so you have to calculate. It's the section multiplied by 512 plus the ID. A quick example, if you don't know how to do it, it's very simple. You just open your item.text. This is the section, this is the ID. So if I want the hand X, I'm going to just open the calc, and it's 1 multiplied by 512 plus 1, and this is the ID. Okay, you just copy this ID here, you just copy the ID here, and here is the level. It can be any level or -1 to ignore. For example, if I want like 53 creations, I just calculate. You can use direct calculations like this. You can use like 14 multiplied by 512 plus 22. This is the creation index. You can use directly formula on script. Okay, it's no problem. You must just use like parentheses here, and you can use the directly formula here without a calculator. So I'm requesting 500 creations of any level. Okay, this is for free, VIP 1, VIP 2 and VIP 3. Okay, if I want specific settings for the item, not just the amount, I can use this require item X. So how does this work? I must always use section and ID, and I have some optional settings. I can use min level. For example, I just add a comma and my min level is 2. Okay, so it is the first item, it's a crease, and I want min level 2. Max level skill -1 will ignore 0, it can't have, and 1 must have. So I want that the crease has skill, so I say it is 1 here because I want it must have skill. I can use this for luck, min option, excellent type. It's the amount of the excellent option number. If you don't know how to use this, you can use min and max excellent. Okay, this is the set item option. It's the same thing. Jewel of harmony option and options 380, same thing. Okay, and here is the query character. If you want to check if player has something that is not possible using one of these options above, like if you're using like a script bank and you want to check the creations on the bank or anything custom and you know how to use queries, this is how it works. First, here is the select. Okay, select. If the select is okay, it will execute this query, and if it fails, the player will receive this message. The first one is in English, Portuguese and Spanish. The same thing here for the query account. Okay, here will be replaced by the account, and here by the player nickname. Okay, it's very simple. You just copy here and add to your configs here above the command number. Okay, not every script have these sections or these possibilities to customize like this, but in the future you'll be able to do this with all our scripts. Okay, so this is how you install any script. It's very simple, and you can use all of this for NPCs and for commands. And if you don't find these settings in your script, don't worry, it will be like a manual table called requirements here, and you have to just change the values. It will be almost the same thing, and you'll be able to set it up just on the configs file. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can call us on our Skype, WhatsApp, and I hope you have enjoyed the video, and we are here to help if you have any problem.